are inside 30 minutes. Yes, 30 minutes, people, separate us from the 2026 NBA trade deadline. And our Anthony Slater, who covers the Golden State Warriors, he is reporting that Draymond Green, he will be in a Golden State Warriors uniform 31 minutes from now. He was, Slater says, involved in Giannis conversations that never gained traction. And now, of course, we know that Kristaps Porzingis is a member of the Golden State Warriors. So let's check in here on the state of the Western Conference, on two titans that we have come to know as sort of mainstays in the conference. And one of them is Steph Curry here. If you're in Golden State, Coach, you have been, how are you feeling?
Obviously they were going for Giannis. That would have been the big, sexy move to pair him with Steph Curry.
No big sexy.
That's not, no big sexy. Not big hurt. Not big hurt. So that's not going to happen. I'm happy for Draymond. I coach Draymond, a big fan of his, that he's going to be able to stay and hopefully finish his career in Golden State for everything he's done for that franchise and helping them win all those championships. But, the end of this season, Porzingis, it's going to be tough sledding to finish out this year, and I don't see them making a lot of noise come postseason.
Well, it is fortunate for Draymond, but, the greatest players in the world have been traded, especially at the latter part of their careers, and Draymond would be no exception if the team feels that they want to move on. And I think he understood that as well. I think that's why but the difference is everyone's not able to receive information. Some people you can't tell everything. They had to tell Draymond. He is someone who can actually take that information, receive it, come back today, and still be Draymond Green.
And be a pro.
And a lot of guys are not able to do that. And they know who to spoon feed and who actually just give the plate to.
And I think now the question turns to Steph Curry. He's had this injury that he's been contending with, and how long that could continue.
Right. So the thing is, they've crossed the Rubicon with Draymond. They've told him that he will be involved in trade discussions going forward. So, okay, he's going to be at the rest of this season. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and it's a player option. So do they revisit Draymond trade discussions in the offseason? And could they revisit Giannis conversations in the offseason? The second thing, as you said, Steph Curry is out right now with a sore knee. They said it's runner's knee. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like it's something that needs rest. And the question is, if with the Warriors not having really materially improved here, I don't know what Porzingis is going to be able to give them, how much is Steph Curry going to be playing in the short-term future? Does the Warriors have control of their pick? I know people are probably like, why do you keep talking about players shutting down with their pick? The 2026 draft is very, very highly valued, and if you can't improve your team through the trade deadline, you improve your team through the draft, and that's going to be a consideration for players.
I'm a little disappointed in a few teams in the Western Conference. Minnesota, the Rockets, and the Lakers. Because we talk about how wide open the East is, which with the moves that's been made, I wouldn't necessarily say it's just wide open. I think we know who the top three dogs are. I don't know who the top three dogs are no more in the Western Conference.
You don't think it's OKC Spurs?
Because of injuries, right? SGA now is out. J-Dub with the hamstring, and we know how soft tissue injuries could be. You're looking at the Denver Nuggets right now. Aaron Gordon is out, hamstring injury. Jokic is still banged up. He had another scare last night.
Cam Johnson's still out too.
Right. So when you look at the Rockets and it didn't have to be a powerful move, just a popular move. Like, you could have went out and kind of been somewhat aggressive and went got a Tyus Jones or Kobe White to fulfill that veteran point guard position. If you're at Minnesota, you're looking like they made some nice little moves. I think AO is going to be fine for them from the Bulls. But I was expecting even the Lakers, we talk about their rim protection, how they're one of the worst in the league. DeAndre Ayton has been inconsistent all year long. Like, I expected them to be more aggressive. Especially when you talk about having a LeBron, a Luka, a Austin Reeves. They have one of the best offensive weapons as far as those guys as a trio. I expect it because the West really is wide open right now.
I was looking at Houston, thinking the same thing. You're fourth in the West. Do you have enough shooting around Kevin Durant and Şengün? And biggest question is they've tried to go point guard by committee, and you can speak on this, Kenny, because you played at a high level. They're going point guard by committee. Can you go point guard by committee into the postseason and have a chance to move forward? They're 27th in the league in assists per game, and they're asking guys to play a position that is something that is hard to do.
Very hard to do. I think First of all, I think the Rockets have made some really great moves over the last 2 years. That's put them in the position that they're in now. You know, but a Jose Alvarado he would be better fit for the Rockets than he actually is for the Knicks. He would have been more valuable, rather. Not better fit, but more valuable. Just someone who played that position. I do remember, even the latter part of my career, when I got traded, and we played the Rockets again, and I come back into the locker room and see Akeem Olajuwon. He says, "I apologize to you." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I really worked. I said I didn't know what he was talking about. And he says, "I didn't realize how hard it was to simply give me the ball at the right position." I apologize. He took it for granted. Yeah. And I was like, "Well, I appreciate that. Tell him to bring me back." I was like, "Tell him to bring me back."
I think Houston and San Antonio, to a certain extent, are in the same boat, which is that they are looking at this as a 3 or 4 year window, and they don't want to give up assets to rent a player.
But let me ask you this, Wendy. I understand that with the San Antonio Spurs, not with the Rockets. This is not a 3-4 year window with a Kevin Durant, right? Like, he's still playing at the elite level, but KD is, 38, 39 years old?
I think he's a little younger than that, but yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is you got to maximize. I feel like that window is now, because if you'd asked me this a month and a half, 2 months ago, it would have been OKC and Denver and pretty much everybody else with the Spurs knocking at the door. But now if you're the Lakers and Rockets, you saying, well, damn, we passed the halfway mark and guys are injured. We got a
There
real
was
shot.
like 9 or 10 guards traded in the last 3 days. Half of them went to the Bulls. Yeah. So it wasn't like the market was there.
All the Hornets.
Hey, here's the last question. So Minnesota, back-to-back Western Conference Finals.
Right, high bar.
They got Ayo. Cool. They went to get Giannis, didn't get him. Do they have enough coming off of that bench to provide a scoring boost? They got Naz Reid, but
it's not the bench, Coach.
You know,
do they have enough to make Ant-Man not get double teamed and he can be Ant-Man?
Because he talked about it.
It's really that's it, because it's the guys that they're bringing in, other than Randall. You know, those guys they're not getting the attention.
Right.
So now
he can do his thing.
Where he can do his thing.
It's sort of Ellis. So Janae, Danny, let's check in the film room. How is this team going to fit together?
Welcome to our NBA trade deadline film room. I love it here because we've got the biggest board ever. And I'm not going to lie, James Harden going to Cleveland sort of was not on my bingo card, Danny.
Mine either. At first, I was like, what the hell's going on? But, I mean, now it's starting to make sense. As it's settled in, I like it. It's a good move for them.
It is. Let's check out their new lineup because shock me or stop me if you've ever heard this before. James Harden leads the NBA in total isolations. Now they have another guard in their lineup as we zoom in here on James Harden. I'm really excited about this. Let's start, though, as we dive into the tape, with the pick and roll. Because James is a master when it comes to this aspect. You set good screens like John Collins does right here. He is so good that he attracts so many double teams, more than Darius Garland. But what's his signature move?
Step back.
Yeah, he should have patented that. But look at him, one-on-one in isolation.
But 2 step backs.
Exactly, Danny.
A 1-2 step.
But this is what separates him, his ability as a facilitator. Can you walk me through this play and this pass, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, he is the system, and there's a reason why. He can draw 2, draw 3. They have a great setup for him. Pick and roll, so much attention. That behind-the-back pass, wide-open floater for Zoo. He's going to have a lot of food on plates for these big men, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. They can eat tonight, like when they get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the big men, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, they are absolutely going to thrive with a guy like him. He plays great with bigs. But I feel like you should not get lost in the sauce when it comes to analyzing the starting lineup because he is absolutely going to help Donovan Mitchell as well. We know that Donovan Mitchell is having a career year, but now you add in the fact that James Harden demands more double teams than Darius Garland, you're going to see